Morning, Internet. Oh, thank goodness it's all over. My Onlyfans is up and running, and I've made some decisions about how things are going, and now I can just leave it alone. Because do you know what? All it is really is another kind of social media platform pretending to be about friendships and social interactions, but it's just about business. So it's really just the same as Instagram, but they let you put anything on there. Do you see what I mean? So I found my ideal product, which is, of course, my graphic novel strip cartoon. And it amused me greatly that I can call because people are searching for salacious words on there. Of course they are. And strip, what a useful term. So my full strip cartoon. I just love this endless play on words that you get. How suddenly on a platform that is basically just sex, suddenly every word is loaded, isn't it? So I've written my description about 5 times. No, probably more actually. Anyway, I've started the feminist comic strip and put the first one up yesterday, and they're all available on my Redbubble, but I believe I can get something on, a merch thing. So I'll look at that in a minute, because what I'd really like people to do is understand that they are morons if they're actually on, the platform, and they're actually paying people to take their clothes off. It's moronic. The whole thing is moronic. So I feel the need to tell them. So I thought, I'll start my comic strip, which I was going to do anyway. I was going to start it. I'd already started it actually. But the thing with the comic strip, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do sort of single-page issues, but they're all called If. But they're just about, what if this thing happened in the world? So this one is the feminist rebellion. So they'll have titles. I suppose I should probably put the title somewhere on the page. I haven't done that. But really, they're standalone artworks. So you sort of imagine them as, you could have it in your living room, a big painting of it, or reproduction of it. So I used my AI, but it took a very long time. My AI wasn't quite... All I wanted my AI to do was to create women coming out of a mobile phone, and it couldn't bloody do it. I was kept putting in instructions, and it just kept failing miserably. This is the problem with AI. It seems to get caught in a loop, where it just keeps producing the same thing because it doesn't understand. Of course it doesn't understand. It's very, very limited, I find. And also, all the people that are on Instagram doing AI, their work is becoming very, very samey. So Midjourney, for sure, has just locked itself into this repetitive loop. And we know that that's what computers do. They're always churning around all this information and not achieving anything, radical from it. They're just relying on accidents. And funny enough, I was listening to a police report yesterday about something. I can't remember what it was, but they were saying they rely too heavily on accidental discovery. And that's how I'm using my AI. I'm relying heavily on an accidental discovery. It discovers something accidental, and I think, right, finally, it's given me something I like. Because the accidents are where the juice is, For an artist, you almost have accidental thoughts. Of course, they're not accidental because they're about who you are, and they're set in your culture. They're nestled in your cultural influences. There's no such thing as an accident of the human mind. It's very exciting. It's very interesting, isn't it? So I do feel I should probably do my next chapter of immersion this weekend as well. So I'll try and get on with that. Just the written. I won't do the recording. The recording that takes a long time. So yes, and my single finally came out. So that's gone live. That's Gossamer and Steel. I'm not particularly happy with the engineering side of things. When you use the Evoc, it's really quite difficult because I sing in opera to get the Evoc right. So I sing up here, like that. Of course, I can't sing. Least of all can I do opera. But it just sounds really good when I start playing around with it, and I get these amazing textures. But it is, you've got this wild acoustic sound that is difficult to contain. And the more I start compressing things, the more impact it has on, the live cello or the live piano or whatever else I'm using. As soon as I start to mix acoustic live recordings, I struggle. I really, really struggle with, just getting the sound that I want. And so it does sound quite distorted, which actually I really like. But I really like it when you're listening on headphones. When you start to listen to that just through computers, it's not working. It's compromised. So I'm not particularly happy with the mix down, but I'm really happy with the concept, and I'm really happy with the vocal per se. Do you see what I mean? So that's quite interesting. I'm wondering actually now if Logic Pro, for me, is not quite good enough. I think I might need a big fancy studio and a music engineer. I've never pretended that I'm brilliant ever at that. There's so many other things I'm absolutely phenomenal with, but not that. So yes, probably get that done this week. So really, I feel quite accomplished. I'm on Onlyfans as an ordained minister, and that makes me feel better about things, because really, I do I had this sort of thing yesterday that I need to save the kids, man. I need to save the kids from this terrible world that they're born into today. It's a bloody awful world. It's sick and degenerate. And I suddenly felt yesterday, and I think I need to, as an artist, I need to say something. I need to do it. And the book Immersion is really, it's about love. I mean, it's a love story, essentially. And it's about AI and the coming of age of AI and the nice side of AI. But If is about the awful side of it, I think, or the awful side of society. So it's much more political. So Angry Feminists / political. It's going to be all that. And I love it. Absolutely love it. You have to speak out, guys. This is the problem. You're sitting being passive because of the internet, when none of us are active in the internet. Do you know that? None of us. And this is the main issue with it, where the only thing that's really important about us is our data, and the what we buy. And even that is, you're actually passive buyers as well, because you're being just fed this seductive information, So you become passive consumers. I see it with my mum. I mean, we all do it. Clickbait, that's nice, bought it. And talking of bought it, so I'm in contact with my luthier, or my luthier, however you want to pronounce it, in London. They're near Liverpool Street. And I messaged them, not realising how posh they were. But I'm posh, so really trying to upgrade. And I kicked. I was under the sofa. I was under the chaise longue, darlings, cleaning up, and my foot caught the rather useless bass guitar stand that my electric cello was in, so it's completely out of balance, and it fell. Now, I've dropped my acoustic cello so many times, and it always lands on its bridge, and it's absolutely fine, because it's a decent bridge. Well, the Yamaha is a decent sort of pickup and setup, but it's clearly a useless bridge, because it snapped in three pieces. So I got in touch with this luthier, and I'd also seen a programme, a broadcast by Jonathan Humphreys, who's a cellist tutor on YouTube. And he'd said the French bridge on the electric cello makes an absolute difference. So I thought, right, I need a French bridge. Anyway, guess how much? 550 or 565. And I thought, bloody hell. So I said to the dude, Ariel, very nice man, he seems a very nice man. Violinist though. I mean, you can't always trust what the violinists say about the cellos. It's a different beast. So I sort of said, well, I'll go and look around. I'll see if I can find somewhere nearer. So I thought, I've got to trek to London with a bloody cello. So I looked around and there's nobody bloody nearer. And I thought, well, it's as broad as it's long, really. I may as well. I mean, I went to Dudley for my acoustic. So then I registered with their site and I looked at their bows. And the cheapest bow was 2,500. I thought, oh, bloody hell. So I mentioned briefly in an email that I was looking at bows. Anyway, he's got a bow to show me. And I just thought, oh, my God. I sort of said, don't show me that bow. And then I said, do show me. Because, I'm seduced by anything that costs more than I can afford. So we shall see. Anyway, I've got to go up there at the end of the month, end of next month, with my electric cello. I mean, I said to him, I think my cello's too lowly. I mean, I use it for recording. I use it for toppers. That's what I do. In G and C, pretty much, because then I post-edit and I can do what I want with them. As long as I've got a fairly decent riff, I can add the wonderful French bow effect in the post-edit. There's absolutely no reason I need it. However, so yesterday I thought, well, I better start practicing my cello again, because how will I test it if I can't string a scale together? And my poor fingers, they were so sore, but that will only take a week, because, so I'm really into my cello again, because I have to justify the imminent purchase of thousands of pounds worth of bow and bridge on an electric cello. See, I'm a passive purchaser. I've been seduced. I feel it's different because I'm not quite so passive, because I'm actually going there and touching and feeling and, touching and feeling my way through life. That's one of my songs. I can't remember which one now. So the other thing I'm going to do today, guys, is the lyrics to all my songs. They're going to go up on my Telltale Club podcast as well, because I never write them down other than in a scrawl in a biro. And I thought, well, I need to, because do you know what? Even sometimes I can't hear the lyrics. In this latest song, Gossamer and Still, you can't really hear the lyrics, which is a bit disappointing. But, so be it. I mean, I'm still really drawn to that live recording sense, that feeling, and being an ex-punk, you could never hear the lyrics. But you know what you could hear, guys? You could hear the emotion. You could hear the drama, the passion. And you could hear that vibration in your sternum. And that's all that mattered. And your pint of cider. Anyway, welcome to my wonderful world at the Telltale Club. Pop along if you're interested in healing yourself from the masturbatory passivity of modern life. Pop along to Tattoo TV on my Onlyfans. And if it's storytelling you like and music, pop along to tail-teller.club, my website. Have a great Saturday.